Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Fastcuts. Today I'll show you a science fiction horror film, The Untamed. The film begins with Veronica heaving heavily as she feels the chilling pleasure between her thighs. However, the thing pleasuring her is far away from a man's hormone thing. It removes itself from her smelly private parts, and a woman tells Veronica to leave the room. But she pleads to stay longer. Not even for a long time, Veronica is now dressed outside, with a wound on her side. She walks towards her motorcycle and endures the pain to get herself treated. On the other hand, a married woman, Alejandra, wakes up as her husband, Angel, engages in a smelly workout with her. 2 minutes later, Angel reaches his hormone peak. However, it's just another disappointing and frustrating hormone exchange for Alejandra. She goes to the bathroom afterward and almost reaches her hormone peak when her kids knock on the door, interrupting her. Meanwhile, Veronica is at the town hospital, getting her wound treated by a gay nurse, Fabian. Veronica claims it's a dog bite, so Fabian recommends getting a preventive treatment, such as injections in her stomach to ensure it's not infected. At that same time, Angel refuses to take their oldest to school, while she takes their youngest to the hospital to get an allergy injection. So Alejandra has no choice but to take them herself. Fortunately, her brother Fabian was there to assist them. Later that day, Fabian and Angel meet at a bar, where one of Angel's friends causes a fight as he tongue massages the owner's wife. But then, something unexpected happens. Fabian and Angel are engaging in a fast workout in Fabian's place. After that, Fabian cooks food for him to compensate for his loss of hormones, as Angel shares the story of him not eating meat. The following day, Veronica starts her preventive treatment, and while at the hospital, she engages in a casual chat with her brother. They get to know each other, and until it's time for her to leave, Fabian invites her to dance and suggests taking his sister with them. On the other hand, an old couple sits in the woods, talking about Veronica and how they want her to stop coming. The woman then takes her husband's hormone let-go hand and guides it to plow her grassy body. But then, they hear Veronica walking, so they stop immediately. They return to the cabin in the middle of the woods and forbid Veronica from coming near it. However, she refuses to listen to their warnings, so they just sit in silence, unable to do anything. The following day, Angel repeatedly sends texts to Fabian, inviting him to meet up and have another hormone exchange. Meanwhile, Fabian is out with Veronica at a local market. Fabian shares how he's in a toxic relationship with a man who only uses him for sexual pleasure and knows their relationship can hurt other people. Veronica responds that she's in a similar situation, where she can't stop herself from coming back, even though they started hurting each other physically. Plus, it's complicated as she doesn't know if it's a he or she. The following day, while they're out letting their kids have fun, Angel cannot stop himself from thinking, so he subtly asks his wife about Fabian. Alejandra informs him about Fabian's plan to go out that night and take Veronica with him, so they can meet, which intrigues Angel. In public, Angel insults Fabian's sexuality and acts like a typical homophobic man to keep their relationship secret, especially since he's cheating on his wife with her brother. Later that sunny and bright day, Veronica takes Fabian to the farm that leads to the woods. She entices him to trust her because she's going to like him. After that, she gives Fabian directions and watches him from afar as he walks deeper into the woods. Later that night, the four people meet up at a nightclub. Angel mimics Fabian's dance moves, sticking to his homophobic image, but Alejandra dismisses that and joins them. As he watches the trio enjoy themselves on the dance floor, jealousy is evident in his eyes. In the men's bathroom, Angel tries to make a hormone move on Fabian, but his futile attempt goes to waste as Fabian quickly excuses himself. As he gets out, Angel causes a scene as he engages in a physical fight with the men dancing with Alejandra, causing them to be thrown out. An outdrunken Angel apprehends his wife's behavior of dancing and enjoying herself. He grabs her hair when Alejandra refuses to talk to him. But she quickly frees herself. The following day, while working in her mother-in-law's candy factory, Alejandra rants to her co-worker about her loveless marriage with Angel and how she wants more in life. Meanwhile, outside in the hospital's parking lot, Angel confronts Fabian about him being distant from their family lately. His nephews keep looking and waiting for him to come by, while Angel has been contacting him for the past 2 days, but he never answered. Fabian informs him that their affair is over, pissing his hormones off and causing Angel to raise his voice and get a little physical. Fabian leaves him and returns to the hospital before it worsens. Following this event, Angel comes home drunk and a mess, devastated and secretly heartbroken about his relationship with Fabian. Alejandra stays by his side to calm him down. The following day, Fabian is found naked and sexually assaulted in a field near the woods. The landowner informs the police that he was tending to his sheep when his dogs started barking, and when he followed them, he found Fabian. The medic immediately comes and takes Fabian to the hospital after confirming that he's still alive. The doctor informs Alejandra that Fabian's stable, but he's in a coma as he suffered a fracture to the skull from several blows to his head. There's no definite day or time that he will wake up because it will depend on how his body reacts to the medication. Angel embraces his wife as she breaks down into tears, distressed about her brother's condition. Later that day, as they return home, Alejandra confronts Angel, as a co-worker of Fabian's had seen him arguing with Fabian in the parking lot the day before he was found unconscious. As expected, Angel denies the accusation and points out to his wife that he only spoke to Fabian because he was her brother. He adds that he doesn't talk to gay people, protecting his macho image. Alejandra doesn't argue with him anymore and goes to sleep. The following day, while sitting outside the hospital, Alejandra gets approached by Veronica. She offers Alejandra a shoulder to lean on to ease her problems. But Alejandra needs to go to Fabian's house for his birth certificate. Veronica offers her a ride, and they go to his house. While searching for his place, Alejandra finds his cell phone and discovers the angry texts from Angel demanding sex from him and making violent threats if he doesn't comply. Later that night, Alejandra keeps her discovery to herself, but Angel knows that she's hiding something. The following day, the doctor updates Alejandra that Fabian is dependent on the machine. Meanwhile, Angel gets arrested at work and is taken into police custody, where Fabian's co-worker and Alejandra testify against him. The co-worker testifies that he saw them having an altercation in the parking lot and Angel violently pushed Fabian. Alejandra follows him and reads the texts exchanged between her brother and husband, confirming their affair. Later that night, Veronica visits Alejandra in their home, where Alejandra shares that she plans to move in with her aunt and leave her brother and husband. The following day, Alejandra leaves her kids with Veronica as she follows Veronica's directions to the cabin. Alejandra encounters the elderly couple, who inform her that the object that has been pleasing Veronica is not human. It is something from the sky that fell on Earth and left a small crater in a field near the farm, wherein animals of all sorts are widely copulating. After telling her that, the couple takes her to a room where she finally realizes she's been drugged. They leave her there, where Alejandra lets herself get pleasured by a giant, fleshy squid alien. As the night deepens, Alejandra returns home with satisfaction evident on her face. She embraces Veronica before asking her if the alien was once Fabian's sexual partner. Veronica confirms it, and she lies to her that the alien is only capable of giving pleasure and hasn't hurt anybody. The following night, while leaving the woods, Alejandra confronts Veronica, saying she knows the alien was the one responsible for hurting Fabian. Veronica apologizes and explains that, although this otherworldly being's purpose is to provide divine pleasure to its sexual partners, it has a tendency to get rough sometimes, hence her dog bite. Alejandra totally understands this, and while Veronica is packing her stuff, she thanks her for introducing her to the alien and letting her experience a pleasure she has never felt before. Veronica leaves the town first thing in the morning, while Alejandra moves into another place with her kids. Later that day, Alejandra discovers from the school teacher that her mother-in-law took her kids without her approval, so she goes to her mother-in-law's house. Her mother-in-law refuses to give the kids, so Alejandra takes a stone and breaks a window. This outburst works, and Alejandra successfully takes her children home. Alejandra keeps returning to the cabin and sometimes brings her kids when she can't find anyone to watch them for her. She lets them play outside while she enjoys the otherworldly pleasures of the hormone-rich alien. After that, she returns to the outside world like a normal person. The following day, Alejandra says goodbye to her brother before removing the machine, letting him die in peace and in a less painful way. Meanwhile, Angel's parents bail him out of jail thanks to their connections and fortune. However, they want Angel to move out as their family name has been tainted by the news of his infidelity and sexuality that has spread across town. They show him the newspaper, where he's on the front page. On the other hand, Veronica goes on to date, trying to improve her lifestyle. However, when they engage in a hormone exchange, the man is unable to satisfy and provide her with the pleasure that the alien did. She just lay there like a lifeless body, prompting the hormone-poor man to stop and leave her. The following day, instead of following his parents' instructions, Angel visits Alejandra in hopes of reuniting his family. Alejandra confesses to him that she knows he's innocent and is not the one responsible for Fabian. She tried to tell the police, but they wouldn't believe her because she needed concrete proof to prove her claim. Angel dismisses that and tries to convince Alejandra to return to him and try to work things out for their children's sake. However, Alejandra refuses, prompting Angel to be violent with her and prepare to kill her. However, he accidentally shoots himself in the leg when reaching for the pistol in his pocket. Alejandra runs to the door but stops when she hears Angel's pleas for help. Alejandra helps him into her truck, but instead of driving to the hospital, she goes into the woods. She drags a semi-conscious Angel to the cabin, where she discovers Veronica's cold corpse. This implies that Veronica returned to the alien after having an unsatisfactory hormone exchange with the first man she had a date with. But she ends up losing her life to the alien creature. Alejandra removes her from the room and leaves Angel inside, where the alien lowers itself from the ceiling toward him. The film ends with Alejandra and the old man dumping Veronica and Angel's bodies into a pit, where Alejandra notices how rapidly the dead bodies are piling up. It implies that aliens hunt people's lives by feeding those unsatisfied people with their mortal lusts and desires. After that, Alejandra returns to the outside world and fetches her children, as if she had not just committed a crime. The story has a symbolic, even fabulous feel, but Escalante avoids oversimplifying his creature into a unipolar symbol. Instead, the picture addresses various social issues, homophobia, suppressed urges, sexism, addiction, and violence, without reducing the monster to a stand-in for any of them. In Mexico, homosexuality is still regarded as an illness and a societal issue that must be addressed. The assumption is that LGBT people are essentially different from us regular folks. Common assumptions about Mexico's macho culture may lead us to believe that the legal environment for LGBT rights in Mexico is significantly less equitable than in the United States. In many cases, individual state actors have utilized state violence against sexual minorities with impunity. Men and women are not just dissimilar, but also diametrically opposed. Boys who despise soccer, men who appreciate the opera or display unmanly emotions such as grief or tenderness, and spouses who help with housekeeping or care for their children are all deemed effeminate. A woman who performs man's labor, is overly independent, or stands up to men is regarded as poco hombre or overly masculine. It's easy to jump to the conclusion that she's a man-hater and a lesbian. Homophobia is about more than simply homosexuality. It's about what it means to be a man or a woman. Aside from the script's magical trappings, the story of Alejandra's home life is rich in dramatic depth and complexity. The image of her disastrous marriage to Angel, who forcefully exacts his self-loathing and self-repression on Fabian, is dense with subtext about Mexico's glaring social and sexual inequities. Consequently, we get a very effective metaphor that should make arthouse entertainment value fans grateful for something as lavish and odd as it is intellectual. The film is dedicated to Polish filmmaker Andrzej Zulawski, who inspired the notion with his cult film Possession, 1981. Escalante's picture owes a lot to Andrzej Zulawski's 1981 masterwork Possession, which is also about a young lady fleeing an unpleasant marriage by copulating with a writhing mass.